Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of a situation going on with Nerissa Ravencroft and a fan who's essentially crashed out on her over something extremely small. And this has kind of blown up lately with a lot of people talking about it. And yeah, there's a whole post made by Rima. If you guys want to go and follow her, I definitely recommend doing that because she kind of summarizes a lot of this stuff very, very well as does videos and stuff as well, which you guys can go check out. But yeah, essentially, this got 1.4 million views with 10k likes on it as well. Essentially talking about the fact that in a epic meltdown, a fan crashes out at Hololive VTuber Nerissa Ravencroft after she mentions a Holostar during a live stream. Now, if you don't know who the Holostars are, they're essentially I'm pretty sure predominantly male Hololive VTuber kind of group. And again, a lot of people you know, have their own opinions on it, but again, a lot of people can get very, very what do you call it, like protective over talent and stuff, and especially talent interacting with males, which I think is quite funny. But there's also a lot of other reasons as well, not just the whole male thing. But yeah, essentially this person right here called Myron essentially put a whole rant towards Nerissa, even in the hashtag, saying, "Nerissa, what in the name of good lord is this? Nearly a year ago during a membership stream, you came to us jailbirds to explain that you would never collab with or name drop any Holostar male VTuber or male content creator in your stream. And now you randomly drop a Holostar's name. You made us a promise. You said that streams would not change. You said that you would never do such a thing to your precious jailbirds. You said that through your actions, you showed your intention and your lack of interest in collaborating with male VTubers and male content creators. You made us a promise." Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Imagine being this insecure, bro. I think it's crazy that there are people out there that exist like this. And this person obviously genuinely needs help if they're getting so upset over the fact that, you know, Nerissa even just mentioned a male content creator. And you can tell, like, they specifically said male content creators. Not even like they don't like the Holostars or whatever, or they don't like, well, obviously they don't like them, but they don't like them for whatever reason. They don't like them because they're male, right? That is essentially it. Which I think is quite funny. But they say, you said the only exception was for music. No one minded a male professional vocalist or a producer. That's normal. You told us that professional male vocalists and music people were the only exception. You said that because you're a perfectionist, you had a specific dream collab. Everybody understood that. Everybody was fine with that. Oyumi Holic came out good. Bird Brain came out good. You told us that there was the only exception. Not a single soul minded that. So they're saying, like, you told us that you'd only do it for music and you wouldn't interact with them at all outside of music, which I think is crazy. They say, however, Holostars are not professional vocalists. They are not professional anythings. Jailbirds even said in that stream that male VTubers do not apply to such exception, and you defended those people from the harassment they got. Holostars are a blight to keep, a blight to everything that falls undercover. That's crazy. They say, you know, I often even wonder why Carver keeps them around, but that is besides the point. You made a promise that you wouldn't do such things and that you wouldn't change. Now you are just casually names dropping them. Why would you do that? So yeah, they're pretty mad at the fact of them essentially talking about a Holostar member. I'm pretty sure that was right. And again, they keep on going and going and going. Say, why did you break the promise? Why did you feel like you had to name drop one of them? Do you hate us, jailbirds? What has become over the past year that you want to harm your loyal fan base over and over again? Why do you keep listening to all those beggars that want to see you fail, fall into obscurity, become like Nichi Sanji, what used to be V-Shoujo or FaZe? Why do you ignore jailbirds that want you, the one and only devilish diva, to succeed and shine like the amazing Hololive talent that you are? You have been a Hololive fan for a long time, just like us. Did you forget what happened in 2022? Nerissa, despite my criticisms, I have never been disappointed in you. I always believed in you. Like many jailbirds, we keep our trust in you, even though it's hard sometimes when you're absent or feed into the obsession of Bloodraven shippers more than your own fan base. I have always thought that you can do better than what you think you can. You are more talented than you think you are. I have always thought that you are more capable than what you show. However, I reject mindlessly supporting you without being critical over stuff that you do. That would be following someone like a blind sheep. Toxic positivity is far from healthy for a fan base. I have never lost any hope in that you can do the most wonderful things, but this breaks a promise. It feels like a hard smack to the face. We were there for you to cheer you when you were down. We cheer for you when you are happy. We celebrate your accomplishments with you. But this is the first time I and probably other jailbirds too have felt truly disappointed in you. It's like you'd expect like she'd done something horrible here, but she literally mentioned a male fan once. Not male fan, a male VTuber once. I think it's crazy, right? Yeah, obviously it seems like, you know, they're saying, oh, I don't want to be toxic positivity and all of that kind of stuff. That's 100% true, right? I think you can have your criticisms about a VTuber that you watch, right? You can 100% be like, oh yeah, you know, I like watching them, but this thing that they did, I didn't like so much. But I think whenever it comes to just talking to a male, though, or talking about a male, that's just something that you can't, you know, I think that's just stupid, right? That's something that, you know, it's not like criticizable, I don't think. But again, obviously that's what they're doing. And of course they can go and saying, 2 weeks ago, my Advent varsity jacket came into the mail. I've been proudly wearing it whenever I go to my university campus or travel around within the country or from country to country for work or other leisure. So this person is like of university age. That's crazy. Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy. I said, I have spoken to many fellow Hololive fans at random locations about how cool Advent is. Whenever they ask me who is my Oshi, I always show them the Shadow Nerissa mini plushie in my bag and the Nerissa linking chain on my jacket and proudly say, Nerissa, of course. She is so lovely and silly. She is an amazing singer. She's literally the best. But now this, how can we trust you if you break such an important promise like that? Please do tell us, Nerissa, why did you do that and break that promise you made to us? Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Some people get way too parasocial. It's crazy, right? And yeah, it's so sad to see that this person is probably older than me. Maybe a little bit younger than me, actually. I don't know, but it's a similar age, right? And I think it is pretty crazy that, you know, they've actually managed to go that far off the deep end in terms of crashing out on Nerissa for talking about a Holostar member once. And obviously, yeah, you can see here a lot of people have been talking in the, I think this is a chat log or something. They say this is from Myron. I think this is possibly the least hyped concert so far. It's just radio silence. It's mostly like the Blood Raven concert. The man I miss Nerissa Summer said, agree. I don't remember anything like this last year. This radio silence from my Oshi killed all the hype for me. Don't be so mean. She spent like half a year this year not at home, and she recently got back. She deserves some rest. So yeah, a lot of people be like, you know, it's radio silence. She hasn't been speaking for a while. Then it doesn't mean to point out the facts. It's not like she streamed a lot in the past 6 months to make a decent hype for the concert. Unlike last year where she released IMF. Said, oh, I didn't mean to be rude. I was just speaking bluntly, and it's been 2 weeks now. I mean, it's hard to feel the hype when your Oshi hasn't tweeted about the upcoming concert. So no one is saying that she isn't working hard, but you're trying to justify bad decision making and a lack of communication. Twitter does not host her music, nor her streams, or her 3Ds. It becomes an issue when stuff like Requiem for Love gets announced on Twitter, becomes a premiere, which are broken without a stream. The same for her covers, which get announced on Twitter and then randomly premiere without a stream prior to the premiere. They say, we aren't even getting schedules anymore, and even when we did get them since the start of this year, she regularly forgot to upload them onto YouTube. It shouldn't be required to get my Nerissum. So yeah, obviously a lot of people complaining about, oh, she's been away and she's not been doing schedules and things like that. And then Nerissa actually responds to this, saying, no offense, but I'm working really hard and regularly. Don't have my PC. YouTube on my phone doesn't allow for a lot. Sorry you're disappointed in me. I guess I'll just do my best. But to be honest, reading this doesn't motivate me at all, especially when I've been doing so much behind the scenes. It's hard for me not to be able to share it with you and not be around either. Seeing stuff like this makes you think I'm doing nothing and screwing around. Thanks to those of you who are understanding and waiting for me patiently, despite my lack of ability to entertain well right now. So yeah, obviously she's been away for whatever reason, and obviously that is pretty acceptable, right? But these people, they're like parasocial or whatever, and you know, they're like, oh, why is she not streaming? Why is she not making schedules? Why is she not doing this or that? And of course, yeah, it ends up becoming a huge issue. And obviously, Rima then follows up down here saying, it's because while she was discussing the process for her cover, Bird Brain, she was debating if she should get someone from the company to do background vocals and mentioned Octavio. However, she didn't even go with him for the background vocals. So essentially, yeah, she wanted some background vocals made by a Holostar member. Didn't even choose the Holostar member, just talked about it, said, maybe we should get him. Actually, no, I don't think we should get him. And then they crashed out on it. They crashed out on the fact that she said, actually, no, I don't think, you know, I'll get this guy on here. Not because she didn't want to put him on the song, because she just talked about him, which I think is crazy, right? And again, a lot of people have been kind of reacting to this as well, saying, does he give her a lot of money or something? Which obviously a lot of people have been kind of asking. So, see, he's one of those fans that think if a female talent even so much as mentions or collabs with a male, they think that the talent is no longer pure, which makes them feel like they're betrayed, which, yeah, is 100% the case of what is going on there, right? Saying, asking the same question, is he a top donator or something? Has he got the spotlight? And again, even if he's not, it doesn't really matter. He's still crashing out pretty crazy, right? I think fan meltdowns, sometimes they feel justified, sometimes they don't. This one is not justified. Yeah, 100% not, right? We say, I don't get the Holostar hate. They just seem like doofy guys. Which obviously, you know, it said, I wrote this not too long ago, but to condense everything, this is a recent Holo EN only development stemming from how badly the first 2 gens got mangled by Omega and how he appeared to favor guys over the girls. Of course, if we believe if he shoujo leaks, it's someone else, but which again, obviously, that's some questions that people have been asking, but I think also, I think the problem that people mainly have, or I say people mainly have, this guy mainly has, is just the fact that they're a male. It doesn't seem like he cares too much. Like, he obviously did mention a little bit about Holostars and saying, like, they're the, what do you call it? What did he call them again? There's something of cover. You know, the what do you call it? Yeah, the blight to everything that falls under cover. Which again, you know, sure, like they obviously understand a little bit about what's going on with that, but I think the main hatred literally comes from them being male. I don't think it's even necessarily anything that is going on with Holostars. It is literally the whole male thing, which I think obviously is the thing that is driving him to crash out this badly. But yeah, I mean, this just kind of shows you how bad someone can get to the point where this kind of crash out happens. They feel so entitled to tell like the VTuber what to do and all of this kind of stuff and who to collab with, and it becomes a big issue, right? And yeah, it ends up ending up like this, right? There's a lot of kind of people making fun of you, and of course, you know, they have every right to make fun of you, especially after a message like this, because this is just crazy. This is just so unhinged and weird. And yeah, I think a lot of people are very, very weirded out by this one. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop to use my code KAZA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.